Neka did a baba hachi hana another level. SojuTalk. Bro, I practiced that for like 30 minutes.
Was that supposed to be Bewhy?
Bro, I don't know how to rap. I just thought it would be funny. That's what I did.
That was pretty good.
I'm just gonna start that. We're not gonna recount today. We're just gonna do it live.
Wow, okay.
So what's up, everyone? We're SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you live with episode 10, and we're recording on October 9th, 2018. Man, I'm so like out of whack because of my epic rap. But I'm Doug, and joining me today we have Warren.
Hi, everybody.
We have Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
And we have Anita.
Hello.
And this week, in our post podcast, we're going to be talking about Show Me the Money episode 5. So please check us out. That's a YouTube exclusive. But before we start, for today's main topic, we will be talking about K-pop and plastic surgery.
Ooh.
So as this is a very controversial subject in the world of K-pop, we will try to remain objective in our discussion overall. So for instance, let's just say that Warren is a K-pop idol and he just got Sangapu surgery or double eyelid surgery. So for this episode, we will try not to criticize Warren for his looks overall, saying he's ugly, that he has small eyes, or that he needed the surgery. But we will try to more analyze the event overall, saying such things as it's interesting that he felt the need to alter his looks, or look into why he did that. But that being said, everyone listening, you're all beautiful. Never let anyone tell you otherwise. And F the haters. Let's go.
Dab on them haters.
But before we get to the main topic, let's go over the big new releases. So there's 3 for this week. We had 2 solos, 1 group. On October 4th, which was last Thursday, we had Yuri from Soyou with Into You. And then we had Soyou, formerly from Sistar, with All Night. And then yesterday, on Monday, October 8th, we had Super Junior and collaborating with Rake with One More Time, Otra vez. So let's talk about these songs. Okay. So I watched Inkigayo this week. And Yuri and Soyou pretty much went almost back to back. There was only one group in between them. And it's pretty hard not to compare these 2 artists against each other because they're both female solo artists from veteran groups. Man, for me, I really think Soyou won this.
I'm gonna agree on that, even though I don't like Soyou's song too much.
Oh, really?
I'm just gonna put it out there. I didn't like any of these songs. I had a very
any of the
strong.
3?
All 3. I had a very strong dislike for all 3 of these songs.
Okay.
And I'm normally a fan of Groovy Room too, but like Soyou's song felt like it was kind of all over the place for me. Like I couldn't like focus on it.
Okay, I really like Soyou's song, and I like Sit K's appearance in Inkigayo too. And their little dance together, that was good.
Oh, I didn't see their performance. Siki was an Inkigayo?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
So I was watching the song and I'm like, is he going to come out? And he actually did for the rap, which was interesting.
I know.
Interesting.
But let's start off with Yuri's song. So Yuri's from Soyou. She's not particularly known as the solo artists from that group, I would say. And my biggest takeaway was, number 1, she gets prettier with age. Ridiculous visuals. I was like, holy, like I've been watching her since Chunchun Bupe in like 2012, and she's like prettier now than she's ever been in her life, I feel. But that being said, I thought the song was like, it felt like Sunmi Light. That's how I'll describe it.
It felt like Sunmi Light with like the Moonbaton flavor.
Yeah, it felt like I get what she was going for, but it didn't like hit me enough. I don't think it's a terrible song, but it was just like I was wanting a little more from it. Maybe some crazy choreo or a little bit harder hitting a chorus. It just felt, I know they were going for like a chill theme, but there's a difference between chill and maybe a little boring, I thought.
No, this was definitely a little boring for me personally. It was kind of a letdown. My question is like, right, SNSD OGG came back like 2 weeks ago, very recently. And then Yuri comes back with a solo. I'm not really seeing the strategy behind like.
It seems like they're just trying to give all of their members solo comebacks.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I remember what's her name? Hyoyeon came back, right? I think.
All right.
And then I heard Sunny might be coming back at some point or having a solo thing at some point, but I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
You know what this kind of sounds like? It sounds like since they re-signed with SM is kind of rewarding them. That's what it kind of sounds like. You know what I mean? Like,
And it also seems like they know, regardless of the quality of the songs or the music, that it'll sell because they have such a strong backing. And I don't blame them for doing that. But let's move on to Soyou song now. So okay, Soyou is the master of the whispery, sultry singing. Like that's her
Yes.
thing. And I agree with Warren. This wasn't my favorite Soyou song, but I still think she like, I like her in this because I don't know, I'm just a huge fan of her, but I might be biased on that opinion. So why didn't you like it, Warren?
it just kind of felt all over the place. Like it kind of had like a same vibe the whole song, and like, I don't know, similar to the Yuri song, it felt like there was something missing.
I could see that.
And it was kind of hard to focus with like a lot of the things going on in the music video. Like, should walk, dance, then walk again, then dance, then walk again. Like,
I was thinking like maybe we're just too spoiled by Sunmi songs where we expect like a crazy chorus with some interesting choreo. But also Chungha seems to do that too, right? Those are like the main people who are solo artists lately, and it really seems like it comes down to having strong dances in the choruses. And it's not to say that these two can't dance at all, but it's just like comparatively, sometimes you're like, oh, I wish there was a little bit more.
in terms of production, this was produced by Groovy Room, which I'm normally a huge fan of, so like I might check them out again. We'll see. But I noticed something really interesting about the music video. You know the guy in the white hair who like walks around and like follows Soyou the whole time. He was familiar, right? I was like, I've seen this fucking guy somewhere. So I like did some research, and guess where I found him?
Where?
Every time Mnet has their reality show, whether it produced or Show Me the Money, before they air it,
That guy.
is that
That's
guy?
the guy?
That's the guy when it has the age thing, and the guy's like with he, you know, like
Oh
the
my
weird
God.
pop music, and he has the two
I
sticks.
think he was also James chewing gum video.
Really?
Oh
that's
yeah,
pretty
you don't.
interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
he's
god.
So he's the age gate guy. Okay, but I want to hear Anita's opinion of the Super Junior Rake song.
Well, I feel like I already had some expectations from Super Junior as far as like collaborating with a Spanish-speaking artist because they've already done it. I think it was Leslie Grace that they collaborated with before. I guess personally, I prefer this collaboration more because I like the band Rake. So I don't know. I think it went better together. And I also think, I don't know, it wasn't mentioned with the promotions, but Super Junior did a cover of a Spanish song by another artist, all in Spanish. And I just want to like give them kudos for their pronunciation because they're great.
See, they kill it. Here's what I would say. So so when you're collaborating or trying to do, let's say, like a Spanish theme song, right? You always run the risk of being like, oh, Justin Bieber and Despacito. Do you know what I mean? Like you run that risk.
Right.
And I think having a Spanish-speaking artist just do the chorus, because obviously they're capable of singing, so they can sing the chorus if they needed to. But having a Spanish-speaking artist really shows that they're respecting that it's not completely their genre. And I think it covers them by doing that. And I liked it personally. And I thought the whole song was very age appropriate because they're all in their early 30s now. They're not trying to do a song where they're trying to be like 20 years old at a club or something, right? Like.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel for some reason the way Super Junior dances around with the Spanish theme kind of works, and I like what they've been doing.
Yeah. That's what I thought too.
You know what,
Warren? What do you feel, Warren?
All right, okay. Here's what I think. Right, I've always kind of felt it, but like I didn't really understand it. But after listening to this week's releases, I know for sure. Right. For one thing, I know that is. Moombahton is gonna be like the next trend thing. It's gonna be the one everyone does in the like by like next summer. Like Twice is gonna have a song like that. Blackpink is gonna have a song like that. It's gonna happen. And second, I learned that I really, really, really don't like the genre.
I thought you were gonna say you like.
No.
All right, but we'll see if any of the people who are gonna come back with it will convince you differently.
Mark my words, it's gonna happen. Jesus Christ.
Okay. So those were the releases from last week. Let's go over the show winners. So GOT7 is still picking up shows. They won 3 more shows to bring their total for Lullaby up to 7. That's a good number to get. That means that was a significant song. And then we had Im Chenjung, the old ajashi.
창성이 오빠. Oh yeah.
He won 2 songs for There's Never Been a Day I Haven't Loved You, which is a great ballad song. It's killing it on the on Melon chart and all the charts pretty much. And lastly, Soyou did win for the song for All Night. She won on the show this morning, so she's up to 1 win for that song. So good for her. But all right, guys, let's get into that main topic, K-pop and plastic surgery. This is going to be a very interesting discussion, and I did not write a lot of notes, so this will be a pretty open discussion. But I think we should first say my feelings are a good percentage, whether you want to admit it or not, a good percentage of K-pop idols have had some work done.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You guys agree with that statement?
Yeah.
If it's not plastic surgery, they get at least something done regularly. It's like non-permanent procedures. That's very
Now,
common, too.
so I want Warren or Jenny to speak more about like the cultural reasons as to why plastic surgery and like having an ideal look is so essential in K-pop and more specifically in Korean culture, because K-pop a lot of the time mimics Korean culture. So go.
Jenny, you want to do it or should I do it? How do you want to do this?
I can explain a little bit of what I think, and you can go after that. But I think it's just like how like media is portrayed in Korea. I mean, I think that media affects like any country, but especially in Korea, like they have a standard for like a small face size, like double eyelid, and I honestly don't know when it started, but I think it's after like probably like some of the really famous like actresses and like actors started to like get famous. But I feel like there's like a certain standard and everyone is just trying to fit that standard. And I feel like companies like SM, like they really care about visuals and they kind of like require, you know, the idols to fit their standards of like a good looking guy or a good looking girl.
If we think about like the whole industry, we use the word idol for the artists, right? That's very indicative of just the industry in general. And I always hear sometimes when they talk to foreign fans or even when people who are involved in Korean entertainment go overseas, people say, wow, all Koreans are so good looking, right? Trust me, we ain't all good looking. Like I've been to Korea. We've all been like the 4 of us. We've all been to Korea. It's like you go. There are normal looking people in Korea, right? But I would say that Korean culture is a very odd society in the fact. This is my own observation. This has nothing to do with everyone's opinions. Korea is the only country where people who are extremely overweight still care about their skincare.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
That was an observation I made, and it's so strange because in America, when you think about like these shows that are about people who are very obese or something, it's like the whole package, right? Lifestyle's a mess, looks are a mess, all that kind of thing. But in Korea, there are people who are decently overweight and who in America you would say, oh, they don't care about their appearance, but that's not the case in Korea. They still wear very nice clothing. They get all the facial products and stuff, and it really says a lot about the culture there. How outward appearance is such a big part of everything that goes on.
If I can add in my like understanding of this and my perspective in Asian culture in general, and this kind of applies. I'm not gonna say it 100% applies, but it kind of in general applies to Japanese and Chinese culture as well, and how Asians view outer visual appearances, because we do place a lot of importance in visual appearance, not just in the entertainment industry, but like in like all aspects of our life. Like I mean, it's not to a point where people will point at an ugly person and say you're fucking ugly, go to hell, but like it's like like for example, people will get stuff done if they think, hey, you know what, if I'm a little more pretty, like I could probably get that, you know, position at this company that has
Yeah,
nothing to
because
do with entertainment.
in Korea, a lot of companies you're required to put a headshot on a photo. I mean, on your job application,
Yeah,
and
Yeah, which
that would
is
be completely illegal in the
yeah.
United States to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think it's great that we're starting off here because it's like you may think the K-pop is just a issue within the Korean entertainment industry, but plastic surgery is an issue that should be talked about for all of Korea, right? And and in general, a lot of Asian countries in general, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, idols are very good looking, but the difference between idols and I would say a normal person, no offense, but like idols generally have a good face. Let's be straight up. Like, in order to be famous in Korea as someone who has a great face, you even if you get work done, you start off with a good level of looks, right? And I feel that sometimes that these idols literally end up with perfect faces because they get some work done, and it really sets a bad example about self-esteem and stuff for young people in Korea and what they think they have to look like in order to make it.
Horrible. Yeah, yeah.
General public. Yeah.
And it's like you think of it like the word is an idol. It's something that you aspire to be, but you probably realistically have no shot of looking like them, right? Even and if you go too far, you could end up with like a plastic surgery nightmare where you look like a fish at the end of the day.
Holy shit. There's a popular meme in Korea called Gangnam Yeoja, like it's like a girl from Gangnam, and someone drew this cartoon where everyone got the same plastic surgery done at a bunch of like plastic surgery places in Gangnam, and they all start looking alike, and it's kind of getting creepy, like, and like it's funny when it's a meme, but if you go to Gangnam, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's certain characteristics that you keep seeing over and over again, and at a certain point, it becomes okay. All right, maybe I'm too drunk, but this seems a little weird. Like,
Yeah. So my sister for about a year taught at a middle school in Daejeon, which is in the center of Korea, and she said over some of the breaks they had for school, kids would come back with like tons of it was an all girls school and they would come back with like bandages on their face. Like she would come back to school and like 6 kids have bandages on their face. All right? Like if we compare that to America, that's completely unheard of.
I remember back
it's
in
very common to like get it when you're in school. Like it's like a typical thing to do it over the summer break. Yeah, it's like a graduation gift to get double eyelid surgery.
Yeah, I remember like one of the kids in my class, like this was I think 5th or 6th grade. I don't remember quite when, but like this was 5th or 6th grade. But like this kid did really, really well on a test, and her parents gifted her plastic surgery over the summer, and she came back. And I was like, you don't look too much different, but okay. Like that was the thing. Like that's
I would also say that there's a complete difference in the acceptance of plastic surgery, because in America, plastic surgery is like a hush hush, like, oh my
Taboo,
god, can you believe that this girl got this done, right? Or in Korea, because it's so widespread, it's not as taboo at all. A lot of people, some people like to flaunt that they got it done, right? Because it shows wealth and it shows like that they have enough funds to do that kind of thing.
Yo, Jessie was on Radio Star and she was talking about her boobs, and she was like, it's all done.
Yeah. And I think that's fine, because I don't blame any of the idols for getting plastic surgery, but I do feel it's an issue of society that's pushing them to get it done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm a firm believer and you should rock what you got, like, but at the same time, it's like they're getting surgery done because they're so self-conscious of their looks because of the culture, not because they actually need it, right?
There's a saying, I think it started when like we can pick our own like members for groups for like produce 101 and stuff. There's a saying, Korea saying, you can deal with an idol who doesn't have a lot of skills or talent, but you can't deal with someone ugly.
Yeah.
Like there's actually a saying like that.
That is so crazy.
And it's like I'll admit, like, I'm not completely like spotless in my evaluation of idols either, in that, right? Like, I think everyone looks at idols and they generally gravitate towards kids who are really good looking, right? I think that's human nature to do that. But I think that's fine, but at the same time, you can't be like bashing people. Like, I think a good example of this is someone like from 여자친구, who I would say she does at least she used to not fit the perfect ideal for what K-pop idols should look like according to
Many
people in
netizens.
Korea. So she got so many like negative comments and stuff, and it pretty much forced her to lose a ton of weight to the point now where she looks really skinny. And now because she's really skinny, she probably starved herself. They're like, oh, she looks decent now, right? Like, I think that's some of the dark side of K-pop. But let's get into something else I want to talk about. I think in K-pop overall for plastic surgery, there's two types of plastic surgery. There's the first one I call before debut, and there's one after debut, right? So the distinction is, does the public know your face or does the public not know your face, right? And I feel that in general, people trash the people who've gotten work after everyone knows what they look like. So, for example, we could talk about A-Pink Namju and A-Pink Naeun got some flack in their last release because the Korean media said they both looked really different since they came back. But I can't really blame them for getting stuff done if they want to, right? It's tough. Does anyone have any opinions of that?
I agree. I just agree. That's all I'm gonna say. Cause like, it's okay. Here's how K-pop works. Like, everything in K-pop is about, yeah, sure, it's about making good music, but like a strong component of K-pop is the visual aspects of K-pop, the fancy colors in the music video, the fashion, and everyone looks perfect. And like, how do you improve on that? Well, how are you gonna improve your face? You know, you can't. There's only so much makeup can do, right? Then you look at other options, and there you have it. Plastic surgery is, you know, your cousin does it, like, your friend does it. Why not? You know?
They definitely got stuff done because they were still self-conscious of their looks, right? It seems you wouldn't get it otherwise. But at the same time, it's like you're self-conscious about your looks. You get some work done. And then the media trashes you for getting stuff done, and it's way too late because you can't reverse this kind of stuff, right?
See, imagine if you're in a group, right? Let's say the four of us were in a K-pop group, right? Let's say the four of us in a K-pop group, and you know, let's say we're all popular, you know, in our own ways. You know, Doug does, you know, the variety shows and all, you know, but Jenny's for some reason not really popular compared to other people. For example,
Okay.
Jenny's gonna be like, oh, you know, this is kind of a little depressing. You know, how can I improve myself to make myself more marketable and appealing to the members? I mean, not the members, but the general public. And I feel like that's where a lot of people turn to not public surgery, but plastic surgery. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, I see where you're going with this, but I think it could also be like everyone is like so freaking pretty in the group, and you feel like you're not as pretty as them, and you want to like get to their level, I think, then you might consider plastic surgery. Like, just because you feel like you're, I don't know, not as pretty as the group members, even though they probably have their own charms, which everyone does. But I feel like not like not even talking about like talent and skills like that, they just don't feel like as pretty as the other people.
I guess that's true because for like your average person, they're like, if you just lose weight, generally you look better. But these idols are already literally at their minimum weight, so it's like, what else can you do, right?
Yeah.
I guess I also wonder what the role of the agency has to do with this, because I feel like there must be some people that feel okay with how they look, like they wouldn't do it on their own, but the company kind of expects you to do it, or like they kind of pressure you to do it just to fit that standard.
Is it true that a lot of the times the companies are the ones paying for this kind of work? Warren, Jenny, do you guys know?
Okay,
none
of us have proof, but like,
I've heard they pay for it and they pressure sometimes.
There's rumors about it, yeah.
Here's the thing. If this is my money and if this is my company and if I'm the one investing, I would consider it at the very least. I would considering suggesting it and like think about it. Not saying I would, but like I would at least.
It seems though overall that the people who get work done after they're famous get trashed a lot more in the media, because it's like the common sentiment is like, we already knew what you look like and we already accepted you, and now you're switching things up, right?
Yeah.
But I can't blame the artist in that, because it's a lot to do with what they think the public wants them to look like. But on the flip side, we have artists like, I would say the majority of plastic surgery in K-pop happens before people debut, right? Like it's like in the prep stages, because when you debut, you want to be like, this is what I'm beautiful and this is what I look like. Nice to meet you, right? Like that's the whole point of debuting. And I think the biggest example of this, where although people still make fun of him a little, it's generally accepted, is Gwangi from Jaeguk Idol, right? Is that how I pronounce that? So Gwangi is pretty much
Friday,
an entertainer.
Saturday, Sunday.
at this point, but like it's pretty documented. He got like everything done, right? Like he's come out and said it, and I think although people like to post his pre-debut photos saying like this is what he used to look like, everyone's like, damn, that was an improvement, right? Another artist who got a lot of work done but gets positive feedback from it was Kuhara. So she's openly admitted in interviews she got her eyes, nose, and mouth done from when she was a trainee. Yeah,
I had no idea.
and the main comments people say about that is like, "Damn, where can I? Who did that work? Let me go to that guy because it looks so good, right?" And it's interesting because it's so strange when it comes out bad or what the public considers bad. They absolutely shit on people, but when it comes out good, they're like, "Ooh, you look good now," right? So it just reinforces the standard that you need to look perfect or you're gonna get wrecked. But
I think an interesting thing that people don't really talk about is like how they get their teeth done.
oh yeah,
And
Ooh,
it makes a world of difference just
That's
getting your
true.
teeth done. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
I was so I have a lot of dentists in my family and I was pre-dental at one point. So I have like a propensity to look at teeth, right?
Uh-huh.
Holy crap, the amount of laminates in K-pop is too damn high.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My biggest examples that I like to show people of people who've gotten teeth done is Songmino from Winner.
Oh,
Really? I don't know, but that's so interesting.
Jenny, go and Google him right now and teeth, and you'll see, holy crap, these teeth are so fake. That's the first thing I always tell people. And then
teeth.
and then the second person I always say is
Oh my god.
Hyosung from Secret. All of her teeth are the same height, which is a little off-putting, and it's not natural to have that for teeth.
Okay. Then I think of this argument about plastic surgery being like, why said if it's some sort of, I guess, aesthetic option, like as just like fixing your teeth. So, like, what's the difference between getting something done, like plastic surgery, as opposed to like getting braces? Because I mean, it's basically the same thing. You're just improving or
I
thinking.
I'm sorry, Anita. You can continue.
Thinking like, how does that argument work?
I think the argument is for at least teeth is how fast you can get it done, because
how fast?
laminate, how fast you can get it done. Because something like laminate or the dental. So there's two ways generally idols get their teeth done. I know a lot about this. Is there's a thing called laminates, is where they literally just glue on fake teeth to the front of your teeth, right? So they grind it down a little and then they pretty much they're like cap it on, right? And then the other way is when they do full dental implants, is when they, little graphic for those out there, but it's like when you get caps done. So they literally grind your tooth to a peg and then they put fake teeth on them, right?
Ew, what the fuck?
I had a cavity this past year on one of my back teeth, so I have a gold tooth now. But you can do that with teeth that look real as well.
Yo, that's fucking gross.
Yeah.
So I know someone like Dongbang Shingi, has said he has the plugs. And the problem with the plugs is, number one, it's painful because you think about grinding a tooth. The tooth is all nerves, right? So it's extremely painful. And those kind of fake teeth, because he used porcelain and not gold, you have to replace them every like couple decades.
Wow.
Holy shit.
But that's the fastest way to fix your teeth, because when you're an idol and you need a debut, you can't like wait 2-3 years to get braces done if your teeth are a mess, right? It's one of those convenience things, and that's sort of like the same thing about idols and like just getting simple plastic surgery procedures or maintenance done, like botox or something. It's super simple, super easy, and the effects are almost instant. But I don't know. I go back and forth about plastic surgery, because I feel like obviously we should accept people for who they are, but at the same point, by going and trying to be idols, they know the what it entails of you have to look perfect, right? And I feel like as fans, we sometimes force them to get stuff done because we have such a level of high expectation for what they're gonna look like. I don't know. I tried thinking about this all week, and I never came to definitive answer. Like in an ideal world, they wouldn't have to get anything done. But if there was K-pop idols who looked like me, I'd be like, I could do that. LOL. Right? Like that's where I am on this topic. But does anyone else?
It's a dilemma with the whole industry and how and its main marketing points being good looking people, but in order to get good looking people, you gotta turn decently good looking people into amazing looking people, and that doesn't come from nothing. I feel like examples like Kwang-hee kind of sheds light on the direction we should kind of go on. I feel like people should be more accepting and people should be more open about things they do and how and such things, because I don't think getting plastic surgery is something to be embarrassed about. You know what I mean? Like
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I think plastic surgery should be just like a way of making yourself feel better.
Right,
I don't think you should do it because you're being compared to other people, or you're forced to do it, or you're pressured to do it. But if you want to get it done and you're gonna be happy with that, because some people are like, they already look great and maybe they just want like a higher like nose bridge, and they look even better. So that's what Why are you saying that?
Warren, your nose is fine. You do not need it.
Okay.
I was not even talking about that.
All day.
Clarification. Earlier, Doug texted me and he was like, he texted the group chat and he was like, if you could fix one thing, what would you do? And I said higher nose bridge, because personally, it's a bit of a annoyance, because my nose, I wear glasses, and glasses always kind of slope down, and it's like it never stays on correctly, and I need to find glasses that'll fit my big wide head but like low nose bridge, and it's difficult.
You're handsome.
Thank you, but I do need glasses that fit low nose bridges. But sorry, go on.
Okay, it was just like an example that came up in my. It was probably because you mentioned it earlier. But I'm just saying, like, there's some people like whose faces will really, really benefit from plastic surgery. Like, you guys know Pang Min-young, the actress. Yeah, she looks so good. You know what I mean?
Here's another example. Solo artist Becca Young from Superstar K to now is a drastic.
Oh, the teeth.
She got her teeth were a mess, no lie, before, and she lost a ton of weight. Definitely got some skincare going on. She might have got a couple snips here and there, and now she's like stunning, right? And
right.
And that was a example of a plastic surgery that happened after everyone knew her face, but everyone agreed she kind of needed it, right? Like that's why it sucks, because I don't think we should say you need plastic surgery to kids, but at the same time, there's all these success stories, so it's hard for kids in Korea to not want to do it.
I guess my take on this is that I would support people that do it as a self-esteem thing, like Jenny mentioned, but I think at some point it becomes kind of a clutch. Like, you feel like you have to keep improving something, and then like, I don't know, there's no definitive it's like you can always find something that you don't like.
All right, we'll bring up the main example we've seen. So Pakbom from 21. It's pretty wide known that she has gotten a lot of work done progressively throughout her career, and it's honestly what people use as a cautionary tale for idols, in terms of there's a certain point where you should stop getting work done. And I feel it really speaks to the overall problem in Korean society that pursues perfection, that sometimes it's okay to not be perfect, right? Like sometimes it's okay to, I think it's completely fine to want to improve yourself. That is an inherent right. Everyone wants to improve themselves, but there is definitely a level where improvement becomes detriment. And oftentimes you cannot find that point until you've gone too far, right? So I don't know.
I think it can like turn into an addiction at one point,
definitely.
because at that point, like, for example, like Pakbom, like, I'm pretty sure she didn't really care about what like people, because people probably told her to stop, right? But it's just her will, like, she wanted to do it, So I also think it's not just the society, but later it just turns into like a personal thing. But of course, like, the society started it, so
I think like a lot of things in life and society, a certain amount can't hurt, but too much is bad.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Just like
Moderation.
everything else.
And I think that when fans, specifically fans in Korea, because it's not like they read that many English comments, let's be real here. When Korean fans leave disparaging remarks on stuff saying they're ugly, does not help at all to this problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations that my problem sometimes with people leaving comments is like, if you don't have anything good to say, like why say it? It never does anything good. It just it makes the idols feel bad. It starts fan wars, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it I think also it comes down to the individual, and you have to love yourself a little bit. Like I know I suffer with that, y'all know that, but at the same time, it's like at least I'm aware of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But to end on a positive note, I think we should always try. Improvement's a good thing, and
Yeah.
wanting to improve yourself is great because that's the whole point of life, is trying to improve yourself to a certain extent. And if we're trying to improve ourselves and we're trying to accept ourselves, we should be willing to accept other people for their flaws. And if they want to get plastic surgery, you should encourage them. Say, if that's what you want to do, I'll support you on that, right? Because not accepting other people is the equivalent of them not accepting you. And how does that feel?
Right.
Love
Boom!
and peace. Love and peace. Love and peace. It sounds like we're gonna wrap up, but I kind of wanted to chime in before you wrap up and do like a quick fact check about what Doug said earlier. So earlier you talked about Quora and her admitting plastic surgery before she debuted. I looked into it. She did say that in Happy Together 3 in 2015 that she does temporary procedures like botox and laser procedures, and like what's it called, the muscle shots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are banned when you do sports contests.
Steroids.
Yes, steroids.
Yeah, those kind of things. She does those kinds of things, but like she hasn't openly admitted to a permanent plastic surgery in the past.
I think that just adds, because like a lot of the times it's everyone assumes people have gotten stuff, and it's really hard to tell because it's not like you want to admit your dirty laundry to anyone. But I was wrong. Mobby. I mean, I did not help by adding to that.
Mobby.
Rumors. Mobby. But let's move on to the news from last week. So the first one, Swing Entertainment gives an update on 101's possible contract extension. So a rep from Swing Entertainment said, we've gotten together and had several discussions. However, we have yet to decide if they will disband the schedule or extend. So they're wondering, more or less. Okay, let me read this. There are various opinions on continuing for several more months after the holiday season. So that's what's being up for discussion. So you might get one more song if they do extend.
I hope they extend. I do. Because it'll set a precedent for IZ*ONE, but I hope it does.
Yes. Well, dude, we already get 2.5 years. We're lucky.
Woohoo! 2.5 years!
But next one. So industry insiders say Hyuna is arranging to formally end her contract with Cube. I think she should at this point because they threw her under the bus. She doesn't owe them anything.
I bet like all the companies are like personally contacting Hyuna, being like, "Yo,
if we thought Somni was a big free agent, Hyuna's a bigger one."
Yo,
I mean Hyuna's like would be the biggest like get you can get for your company. But next one, BTS becomes youngest ever recipients of South Korean government's Order of Cultural Merit. So it's an award for being like a cultural mover throughout the world. Huge for them.
Wow.
And
congrats.
Additional Bangtan news is that Citi Field, so where they had their humongous 40,000 person concert, they reportedly requested to add a date before the concert so they can do Saturday and Sunday, but BTS said no because of their European concert tour they have to go on. So they have to go to Europe next.
Wow.
But this really, I think that they're preparing next year for like a stadium tour, not just an arena tour. And this is a great sign because it's been a humongous success for them.
Someone, I forgot who, but someone famous compared BTS to Beatles from Asia.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
that makes sense, honestly, at this point.
This is crazy.
I read a post today that BTS is making like
$10 billion a day.
Oh my god.
So much
So
money.
if we think about it, right? So City Field has about 40,000 seats, right? And each ticket probably the face value was at least about $100, if not more, right? That's $4 million right there
Holy shit.
Yup.
for one day of
Holy
work.
Shit.
And that's not accounting for merchandise or like they might get some profits out of the concessions or something, right? So it's ridiculous how much money they're making. And then nextly, the next SM station. So SM confirms the release date of the collaboration tracks between John Legend and Red Velvet's Wendy. So it's October 19th.
Ooh.
So that is October 19th, which is not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. Going to be huge.
Damn.
Next, Twice reportedly wraps up music video filming for their comeback. So it is confirmed, and it will probably be in the, they said mid-November.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
They're going to try to ride that promotion until the holiday season, I feel, like all the way through.
I wonder if they'll do something for the holiday season again.
Like,
Like last year, they kind of had the Likey Heart Shaker and the little holiday thing, you know, like
yeah.
something like that again. Yeah,
I'm sure they got something planned because for Twice they've been away for like in the Twice world they've been away for way too long compared
Even
to what
in
they normally
Japan.
do.
Going crazy.
Lastly, I had so this is not super K-pop related, but it was more Korean pop related. So rapper Simon D apologizes for cursing rant controversy. So Simon D is a famous rapper. Basically, he was on Instagram live stream with DJ. How do I pronounce that, Warren?
Wagon,
right? And people were leaving comments, and one commenter said like, "Your music's kind of crap these days." So Simon D pretty much just cursed the kid out, and he did apologize after, but it's kind of a big deal because one of the golden rules of K-pop and Korean entertainment industry is you never curse at the fans, right? But
I don't think Samdi's even like K-pop, first of all, and I think that kid deserved it. Honestly, cussing's bad. I agree, but he shit on him first. You know,
I get it, but what
people are shitting on DJ Wagon because like people are like, oh, you're this guy in AOMG that doesn't make any music and just feeds off of other people's popularity because his album had a bunch of like famous people like Simon D, Loco, J Park, and all that. And Simon D was like, fuck you, first of all, thinking we make music as a hobby. This is like, you know, like we put a lot of effort into this shit. And I don't know.
it's like, how come Simon D has to apologize, but what about the hater? Like, he doesn't apologize.
No. This is the difference. I feel the kid who's trolling from home isn't trying to be on TV shows that are on primetime in Korea. That's the main difference because the optics are bad. Because somebody's been on like I Live Alone lately all the time, and it's not good optics when one of your co-hosts is cursing out fans, regardless of what the fan said. Because he has to be the mature one in that and know that
the bigger person.
exactly. It's unfortunate, but that's how I think he has to act.
It's sad. It's sad.
Well,
if
I think Samdi that it was like Sprite shower.
Sprite shower.
I don't know what the English translation is of that.
Anyways.
but I think Warren knows what I'm talking about.
No, I know what you're talking about. Real quick, I have a lot of juicy drama about Korean hip hop in the post episode. Just letting you guys know.
Let's just say that the Korean rap world is like exploding right now. And
if you guys want to
should
hear
tune into our
about
post show,
Be Free, I got a little something about BTS as well. You know, DR, you know, like Palo Alto. I got it all, man. Like just
Mom, don't watch that one. Don't watch that one, Mom.
Totally.
There's gonna be sexual talk. You don't want to listen, Mrs. Kim. Okay. Let's continue. So the upcoming releases for the next week. So tomorrow on Wednesday, which is October 10th, we have IU and From Miss 9. Woo, IU. Every song she makes is gold. So I'm hype. Thursday, October 11th, we have Wakey Makey. Hopefully they can finally trend in the upward direction.
Ooh.
October 12th, Friday, we have NCT 127.
Yay,
So they released the English version of the song,
yay.
but the Korean version is coming out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then next Tuesday, April 16th, we have another somewhat rookie group. April's coming back, and we'll see if they could trend in the right direction as well. So anything else? Oh, I write down as always, we're hyped for iZone. Let's go. And then, so this has been Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I'd like to thank everyone for listening in. I'm Doug, and we had Warren, Jenny, and Anita with us as always. And once again, please check out our post-podcast discussion where we're going to talk about Show Me the Money 777 Episode 5 and the crazy K-rap news that's going on right now. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify, and pretty much anywhere else you could download a podcast. So thanks for everyone for listening, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yap, yap, yap.